Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So today we're asking the question, what are they not telling you? So this can be anyone in your life and it can refer to any situation going on in their life. So it could be your relationship with them specifically, but if it doesn't quite make sense, then think about what else is going on in their life and see if the reading fits in with that. Because it can be that what they're not telling you is just something else that's going on in their life that they don't want you to worry about. So I've got 3 options for you and I've put some nuts on instead of numbers. So we have the walnut, the hazelnut and the Brazil nut. So I want you to close your eyes, think about your person of interest. Take a few deep breaths, get nicely relaxed, and ask yourself the question, what is it that they are not telling me? Then when you feel ready, make your choice. Always trust your instincts. When you've made your choice, please check in the description box and in the comment section for the timestamps. Click on it and I shall see you at your reading. If you need a bit more time to do that, then please press pause. Okay, those of you that chose the walnut, this is your reading. Let's get those 2 over here. So these 3 cards are referring to the question, what is it that they're not telling you? So there's something better. Crystal magic, creation, dawn, the beginning. Yule, rebirth. So, I think it's quite a simple story here. They're ready to move on. Excuse me. There's something better. This may refer to your relationship with them, or it may be something else that's going on in their life, but they're ready to move on from it. They're in the belief that there's something better for them. They're ready to create a new dawn, a new beginning, to leave the old behind and to step into a new life, to literally be reborn, to let the old that's exhausted itself, that's dormant and dead and finished, to go, to disappear, and for the new to start. To burn the old wood, get rid of the dead wood, and to move on. And that's simply it. This is a really clear message. Really clear message. They're ready to move on. Whatever's going, if this is a job, if it's your relationship with them, if it's a situation that's been going on, maybe they've had something that's been really negative in their life. And they've had enough and they're ready to move on. I think there's a hint. I think you must be aware of it, because why would you choose this video? What is it that they're not telling you? I think that you know that. And I think a lot of you are going to instinctively understand what this situation is that they're ready to move on from and restart again, to start a new life. So let's leave that. That's clear. That's simple, straightforward. Let's move on to these 2 cards, which are representative of advice for you. You don't have to follow this advice if you don't want to. This is just a suggestion of what you can do about this situation, something for you to think about in order for you to come to a choice about what you want to do with this person or in this situation. So we have the 8 of Cups and the 5 of Coins. These up a little bit. So the 8 of Cups and the 5 of Coins, what strikes me immediately is that the 2 men in the picture, this is representative of England. It's the English Magic Tarot. So it's representing an England long gone. But where men were dominant in culture, men were in charge, really, really in charge, much more than today. They were really, really, really in charge. And the two men are confident and off, can see where to go. But the children, there's one holding on to his cloak to make sure, his cloak of office, to make sure it doesn't get dragged in the mud as he goes off to work. And these children, this poor lad here has got his head down, he's got one leg. She's there begging as well, unsure, and he's again in control of it. This speaks to me, what exactly are you getting out of this connection, this relationship, whatever it is? Is it time for you to move on, which is what the Eight of Cups means? It's someone moving on to better things. Is it time for you to move on to better things? Have you got more opportunities elsewhere for happiness, if nothing else? And exactly what is it that you're getting out of this connection? These poor children are staying with this man because he is wealthy, but what are they getting out of it? Are they getting a few coins in that purse? That lad isn't getting anything wonderful. He doesn't seem happy. Neither is that boy. What exactly are you getting out of this connection? Does it make you happy? Does it give you all that you need it to? Where can you go next? Where you don't feel... The Five of Coins is the Five of Pentacles. It's that feeling of being in want, of being out in the cold, of not having enough, that others have more than you. It doesn't always reflect on what's really going on. You probably are financially sound. And it's in terms of this relationship that you are struggling. For some of you, yeah, it is to do with your finances, that you're just not going to have the economy that you deserve and that you need in this connection. There's a feeling here that there's something better. Is there something better for you as well as for this other person? Where can you get the coins yourself? Where can you move on to? Is it time to move on? What do you want? It's basically asking you, the advice is think about what you want, what's your future, where you were going to move to. Would you like to move forward and move on? It's asking you to really examine what's going on in this connection and where you stand in it. Are you the person at the front leading the way, that's the dominant character in this connection, or are you represented by the children in these cards? Because you could be the one that's paving the way ahead, not looking behind you or not checking to see if everybody's on board with the direction that you're moving in. That could be you. It doesn't mean that they're the bad guy. You could be the one that's rushing on ahead and not checking behind you to see that everybody's happy following you. And they're thinking there's something better because they are the one holding up your cloak, or not having their needs met because you're storming on ahead in front of them, getting all the goods, getting all the glory. It can be that way as well, or reversed. So you've got to think about, is it time to move on? Is it not time to move on? You don't have to move on from anything that you're not ready to. You can make relationships and situations work if you look at them honestly and truthfully and see what's really going on in this relationship and communicate with them and talk with them about what you both want and aspire to and what's been going wrong for both of you in whatever connection this is. So yeah, time to think is the answer. Again, a short one. So I'm afraid that's it for you, Walnut people. I hope that it's helped you. Please let me know in the comments section if it resonates, how it connects, and maybe me and some of the other viewers can help you in the comments if you want us to maybe lend an ear and give you some advice back. So feel free to do that if you want, and please take very good care of yourself. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. All right then, those of you that chose option 2, the hazelnut. What is it your person's not telling you? So we'll put those two aside, because these three cards are actually answering the question, what is it that they're not telling you? So we've got opportunity. Just make sure you can see that. The Merlin, guidance, mentorship, teacher of the old ways. Chalice, fulfillment. Okay, so this is a nice sweet one. They've got a real opportunity to learn something that they're feeling passionate about. That's it simply. The Merlin literally could be a teacher. So have they talked or always had a desire to go back to school to get some sort of advanced education, you know, adult education, getting a degree, getting a master's degree, PhD, doctorate, whatever? Have they expressed learning something new? If this isn't about formal education, it can be about something where they feel that they're progressing in themselves, because the Merlin is a druid, it's a spiritual teacher. So they could have felt that they've discovered something about themselves that fulfills the spiritual need in them, like their religiosity. You know, it can literally be religion, but it can be spirituality in personal development, in enhancing their wisdom. And they're sensing an opportunity there to become a different person, a better person, a well-rounded person, any of those things. And teacher of the old ways, it could even be for some of you just the learning of an old craft, one that's thought to be dead or thought to be dying, a traditional craft that perhaps not many people nowadays bother to learn. So it doesn't have to be in terms of getting a new career or a new job. It can be something that's in a hobby or to be done in the spare time. It's something personal. This has a personal feel to it. It doesn't feel like a relationship, like a love relationship or, you know, a friendship, unless this is a mentor, that it could be a reasonably close relationship of teacher to student, but not one that's invasive of other things. This just feels positive about somebody excited about something new that they've learned or want to learn, or getting the opportunity to learn about. And it offers them fulfillment in some way. So again, there's back to this idea of spirituality, but also of craft. If they're learning a specific skill that they can do in their spare time, but where they create something, you know, like learning how to knit, learning how to sew, learning a bit about carpentry, or learning how to work on a car. You know, this feels like something that fulfills them in some way, whether it's creating something or something within, like guidance, you know, being guided somewhere. So this just feels really positive. It doesn't feel like they're doing anything awful. It just feels that there's something new and exciting, and maybe they're, you know, they could just well be thinking about how to let you know that they've discovered this exciting thing. This might be something that they're knowing that maybe you're like, what, you want to spend more time and money doing something else? What? You know, do you mean you want to take an evening class so you're not at home on Friday nights? Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't feel bad. It feels very sweet, actually. The whole energy of it feels sweet. They're excited about this new skill that they're learning. It's the fulfillment. It's emotionally rewarding for them. I think it makes them feel good about themselves. That's the whole vibe of it I'm getting. Is like, I feel great. Oh, I'm good at this. Or it's something new to learn. Something new to discover. Something that's making me learn and change. Yeah, it just feels good. It just feels good. Bubbly. That's what I feel. Bubbly all of a sudden. So these two cards reflect on your advice for you to follow. It's up to you, it's your choice whether you listen to this or ignore it, whether it has any value to you or not, because it's your connection, it's your life. So yeah, just advice. And what to do about this person or this situation, we'll see as the cards come out. So we start off with the Seven of Swords. Ooh. And the Page of Cups. Okay, this seems like quite a simple piece of advice for you, which is watch what you say, because they're going to have, whatever you say will have an emotional impact. This person feels fab. They feel great. It's exciting to them. Maybe maybe they've been a bit bored, a bit lethargic, been a bit sort of everything's the same. It's work and home and nothing else. And this has come along, and it's something that they can dedicate a bit of time to. Like they're going to learn to paint, play a musical instrument, something like that. And they feel good. So you've got to be careful about what you say. You know, you don't want to drag them down and make them feel bad about this new exciting thing, because it's an opportunity for them. You know, the Seven of Swords is all about keeping something to yourself, but also about being cunning and deceitful. So what are you really? What's your slant? If you know, if you can be a bit blunt and sort of come out and say things, the advice is stop and think first, because the swords, are they flying at him or away from him? Is he abandoning the swords and just saying lots of things, just scattering the words out? Or all these words coming flying at him and he's just trying to run through the gauntlet to get through to the other side? And is this you or your partner? It feels like the words could be the issue here. So think about what you're saying. Don't say too much. Doesn't mean that you can't say anything, but choose your words carefully. Because there's feelings involved here. Is your person really sensitive? It feels like that maybe they're really sensitive. And you can be supportive and realistic. If their plans are a bit pie in the sky, a bit unrealistic, it doesn't mean that you diminish this sense of fulfillment, but it's that you gently ask a couple of questions, significant questions, but kindly pointed out of whatever concerns you have. Because yeah, it's about feelings here. You're going to have an emotional impact on this person. Their sensitivity, their creativity. This could be an immensely creative person. Maybe that's the opportunity. And you don't want to stifle that. I mean, you know, a lot of you might be thinking they're not creative. What are you talking about? Maybe they've just never had the opportunity to display their creativity before. So yeah, you've got to seriously think about what your actions are in regards to this opportunity. Are you going to be supportive or not? Are you going to consider their emotions or not? Yeah, that's it. You just got to consider what you're saying. For some of you know, the only reason I could say that for a lot of you, the message is, well, think about what you're saying. Just don't go shooting out lots of words. Keep something to yourself. Is that there's a danger here that this person may get discouraged. And the message is that this could be really good for them. And you don't want to destroy that. So I'm going to leave you with that. Please let me know in the comments whether it resonates with you, if it makes any sort of sense to you. I just wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself and this person. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose the Brazil nut, here's your reading. What is your person of interest not telling you? So these three cards are the answer to the question, what is it that they're not telling you? Yes. Solace, return to nature, tree wisdom, natural remedies, flower essences. Wand, intention. Okay, there's another quite clear-cut message here. Is this person really wants to change something in their life. There's a feeling, whatever situation this is in regards to, there's a feeling of wanting to return back to nature, returning to a more natural way of being. So that speaks to me that this person perhaps feels that they're leading a synthetic life, that they're leading a life that doesn't match their true nature. So maybe they're not doing a job that suits their temperament, that doesn't allow them to follow their natural instincts or to do what they feel's right in the world. Or they live in a place, like they live in a city, but they want to return to the countryside where they grew up. Their intentions are good. They have no intention to hurt you or anyone else. They just want to have a bit of time alone, I think, solace, to go back to think about these things. And they're feeling that this is really right, that this is the answer. They feel that they found the solution to the problem, whatever the problem is. And that the answer is to go back to a more authentic way of living, of being, whatever that means for them and for you. But there is no ill will. There's no intention to harm anyone or anything. It just speaks to me of wanting to go back to a simpler time. Maybe life is really complicated at the moment for both of you or just that person. And what they want is to go back to being... It's essentially, but it feels like they want to go back to being happy and positive. She's really happy and positive, and the answer is yes. They want to go back to a time when things were possible, really. And return to their true nature. I just get the feeling that they're not... What they're doing in life isn't allowing them to be their authentic self, to be the real them, to express themselves in their real way. So, it's like when you do something that it's not terrible, it's not bad, but you're thinking, oh no, this is not really me, is it? Like when you wear clothes, like a uniform for work, you think, well, this is not really me, is it? Well, of course it's not. It's your uniform for work. It's the costume for the company and so on, or the job. But yeah, there's just this feeling of going back to something simple and pure and natural, and that they want things. Really, it feels uncluttered. But the important thing is that they have an intention to do this, to make something. It's casting the spell for the wand. It's the intention. The intention is to change something. And for me, the core of that is this solace card. About being wise, but in a solid, traditional, long-lasting way. They want to build something that's going to last and stand the test of time. And for them, it's to go back to something that makes complete sense to them in the natural order of things. I think that's the only way I can describe what's going through my mind, is that for them, it's about going back to, like a period in their life where everything made sense. So whether that's moving location or changing job back to something that they used to do, or going back in your relationship to a phase where maybe you didn't have, the grown-up issues that you have now, maybe for some of you. But at the moment, I think they're feeling that they need the time alone to do that. Well, they've had time alone, and this is the culmination of their decision that it is really time to change things, and they're looking to go back to something that works for them. It stands the test of time, or to create something that stands the test of time. Longevity, that's what they want. But I can't reiterate enough for a lot of you is that there's no ill intent. They don't intend to hurt anyone or end anything that, I think they just want change. So let's see. These two cards reflect the advice for you. You don't have to follow this advice. You don't have to agree with it. If you want to ignore it, you can. It's entirely up to you. You have free will to make your own decisions. If this makes sense, to follow a different path apart from the cards. They're just to give you something to think about. So we have the Fool and the Ace of Wands. That's really nice. Actually, I really like that. Fire my spirit. So the advice is to think about the new journey. Literally, for some of you, it's a journey. The Fool is going off to start something new. And I think this is what this person wants. To go off without the clutter. To get rid of the dead wood. To get rid of the burdens that are not worth carrying. You know, this is letting go of old arguments. It's letting go of old ways of thinking. It's letting go of old pains and thought processes that get you nowhere. They just want to be carrying the foundations of their life, what they need, you know, what the good things in life, and to move on. And this is about a new fire, a new passion, a new beginning, something new, exciting, fire, movement, the strike of a match. And so what you're being asked to think about is going on the journey with them, basically. Or being inspired by their journey. You know, this could be you, the hare that's going off on their journey. For some of you, what to think about is the fact that maybe this journey is going to be led by them and not you. You know, maybe the relationship or the situation has been dominated by your needs or your need to progress and to fulfill your potential. Might be, doesn't have to be. It could be that this has always been about them, but you're being asked to follow a new passion, to either go with them or to explore your own new adventure. It doesn't mean that if this is a relationship, if you're with this person, that you have to split up and go your separate ways. No, it just means that maybe they've got a path to go on that you don't share with them, but you've got a path to go on that you don't share with them, but you still have a path that you walk together. Where you're, you know, say you're in a relationship, you share a house, you've got kids, whatever, you can still do that, but maybe you have other interests that are separate from each other that you both need in order to have time to yourselves and to explore who you both are. But for others of you, it really is a message of they're going off on an adventure. Do you want to go as well? You know, their intention's good. And the passion's there. Do you want to follow their passion or your passion? Go off and do something exciting. There's a new beginning on offer. And it's up to you whether you go along with it or you don't. You have free will. You have choices. And you can use them. So yeah, you just got to have a good think about what it is exactly that they want. Obviously, you know, talk with them. See what's exactly, you know, what they're thinking. I think it will come out. I think they're going to come out and sort of say, well, this is what I've been thinking. So you have your own thoughts about what you would like. And if they're compatible, brilliant. But there's definitely an offer to go on an exciting new adventure for both of you. And it's something you can feel passionate about. Or, you know, the question is, can you feel passionate about it? Can you follow the passion? Whether it's theirs or yours. So I'm going to leave you with that for you to think about it. I hope that it's helped you. Please let me know in the comments section if this resonates, if it's helped you, or so on. I do enjoy reading everybody's comments. And please take very good care of yourself and your person. I wish you all the best of luck for the future, whatever you decide to do. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye.